spooky crew, and welcome back to my channel, or welcome to my channel if this is your first time here. My name is Alex, and thanks for coming to my spooky little corner on the internet. It's been a hot minute, hasn't it? So if you didn't catch my live, a lot of things happened in the last 6 months of 2022. I had surgery that didn't quite go so well, and then also I got married. So life was busy, and just making content on YouTube was kind of on like the lowest tier of priorities. But now that the wedding's over and I'm feeling better, I'm back. Let's talk about the AI manga filter on TikTok. This is the latest TikTok sensation. And if you're not familiar with it, it's a filter that will pretty much transform you into something that's from an anime, manga. Sometimes the depictions are awesome, sometimes they're not so awesome, and most of the time they're downright hilarious. But people have also noticed something strange. When people are using the AI manga filter, they are noticing that random people are appearing who aren't actually there. So now there are people on TikTok using it for ghost hunting, so to speak, or they'll say something like, "Mom, come to me in the video," or, animals that aren't actually there are appearing as well. So people are thinking that maybe like the spirits of these loved ones are starting to appear in the AI manga filter. Is this filter legit? Let's take a deep dive and let's find out. But before we get started, be sure to click on that subscribe button, give this video a like, and be sure to click on that notification bell so you'll be the first to know when I upload a new video. And if you want more spooky content, blogs, and all that good stuff, then head on over to my website at thespookystuff.com. But actually, before we get started, I want to show you this really cool thing that I got from Movie Palette. So Movie Palette creates pieces of art that consists of stripes of colors that are carefully chosen by their team of artists. So every stripe represents a color of a particular scene in a movie. And each stripe is put in chronological order to complete the whole movie on canvas. And honestly, this is an awesome idea for gifts for your friends, family, and even for yourself. Can you guess which movie I chose? I'll give you a hint. It stars Johnny Depp and Christina Ricci, and it's a Tim Burton movie. It's Sleepy Hollow, one of my favorite movies. And honestly, this has been a great conversation starter. So this is currently hanging in my office. And, sometimes I'll have friends visiting because I live in a pretty heavy touristy area in a big city. And my friends have looked at this painting and they're like, "Oh, hey, what is this?" And I'm like, "Oh, it's based on a movie." And they'll look and see Sleepy Hollow in the corner and like, "Oh yeah, I totally see that." And honestly, I would say that this is a really unique gift. If you would like to grab your own Movie Palette, I actually have an exclusive code, and that discount code is Sleepy15. And that code will give you 15% off of your order. So again, that code is Sleepy15. It will give you a 15% discount on moviepalette.com, and it works for any item in their store. So yeah, if you end up getting your own Movie Palette, let me know because I would love to see it, and I would like to try to guess which movie you got. All right. All done. Now let's get started. So I think the first thing that we really need to get out of the way is TikTok is made for entertainment purposes, and the AI manga filter is made for entertainment purposes only. So it's meant to give us that little serotonin boost and make our brains happy and entertained. So for me personally, I don't think it's a reliable tool for ghost hunting, paranormal investigation. I would also love to hear your thoughts on the AI manga filter, so please let me know in the comments if you think it's legit or if you think it's total BS. Now, as to why I think it's not a reliable ghost hunting tool, well, I'm gonna go ahead and explain why. The biggest thing that we need to keep in mind is that this filter is made to make sense of shapes. It's literally taking the shapes that are around you and trying to make something of it. It's not too different from the SLS camera where, it's literally trying to find some sort of human form. Literally, this filter is taking shapes that are familiar to it and making something out of it. Like if it sees a couch, it's going to animate a couch. If it sees a person, it's going to animate a person. But if it sees something that it doesn't quite understand, then it's going to try to make some sense out of it. And usually that's going to be maybe an animal or a person. I mean, for example, there is a trend using the AI manga filter on TikTok where people are basically putting their fists in front of them, and basically it gives the filter this message that, hey, maybe this is a woman's bosom. So a lot of people will use their fist and put it closer to the camera, and then when the filter is in the works, it will create this anime manga girl with a big bosom. And the same thing goes for fake abs. There are a lot of people who are using like muffin tins or waffles and putting them in front of their stomach with the AI filter, and it's giving them like 6-pack and 12-pack abs. Now, I will acknowledge that sometimes the Manga filter doesn't acknowledge a person in every empty space. Sometimes an empty space is simply just that, an empty space. So why is it that people will appear out of nowhere in some videos and not in other videos? Honestly, that's hard to say, but I feel like the more that people are using the AI Manga filter, we are inadvertently training the filter on what to recognize and what to see. Because here's the deal. This filter is made to detect shapes. From my understanding, it's not made to like read energy, because let's face it, our phones do not really read energy. Maybe it can read temperature, but usually you need like a special attachment for it to do so. And if this filter really is picking up a spirit, well, one, we don't know what a spirit is made of. We don't know what like the genetic makeup is of it. We don't know how to measure ghosts and spirits. So if we don't know how to measure ghosts and spirits, then how can we rely on this AI Manga filter to be able to detect them? Now, have there been AI Manga filter videos that I'm like, oh, that's interesting? Yeah, I'll admit that, but for the most part, it's detecting and trying to make sense of shapes. There's a new trend now where people are putting the Manga filter on like a blank wall or a blank ceiling, and then they say if a person appears, then it's your guardian angel. And then, you know, I tried it, and of course, yes, I did have somebody appear. But then I also did this thing where I asked my mom to appear in the filter, and literally nothing popped up, not even like a little person, nothing. And I also did the filter on my cat, one of my cats, and she kind of came out looking like a yokai, which is, you know, interesting. But again, you know, this filter is trying to make sense of shapes. Now, I will say some people need this filter so that it can give them some validation that their loved ones are close to them. And honestly, who am I to tell them that that's not their mother appearing with them in the video, or that's not their grandmother? Like, who am I to say that? So for me, if it gives them some sort of comfort and validation that their lost loved ones are close by, then, you know, honestly, I'm not going to go in and debunk that. And is it quite possible that maybe it's picking up spirits? Honestly, for me personally, I don't think so. I wouldn't be using this on a paranormal investigation. I'll just be brutally honest, because I don't think it's a reliable tool. I won't be able to take this to a lab and say, hey, this picked up a ghost, because the lab is going to ask me, okay, well, what's a ghost made of and how do you measure a ghost? So when it all comes down to it, I don't think this filter is picking up spirits or ghosts. I honestly think it's just making sense of the shapes around us, and sometimes it's correct and sometimes it's not correct. So if you do use the AI Manga filter and you see things, like you see people that aren't actually there, I wouldn't worry about it, honestly. I mean, unless you have other types of activity happening, then, you know, maybe reach out to me with any questions and I'm happy to answer. But I do think that this filter has gone viral because, you know, people are using it for ghost hunting. And honestly, at the end of the day, it's just good fun. And I did use the filter sitting right here with my Ouija board in the back. And, you know, a person appeared where my Ouija board was. But if you look at the shape of the Ouija board and the person that appeared, you know, it actually matches the planchette that's hanging on my wall and the board. So again, like I said, it's making sense of shapes. So what do you think? Do you think the AI Manga filter is picking up ghosts and spirits? Let me know in the comments. I would love to hear what you think. And before you go, again, don't forget to subscribe to my channel, give this video a like, click on that notification bell. Thank you all so much for watching. I'm so excited to be back, and I'll see you in the next round.